Good evening. PCHS Calgary acknowledges that we inhabit this land as settlers and are aware that the land rightfully belongs to the various First Nations peoples of Canada. We are grateful for the land, air, and water that we build our lives upon. PCHS Calgary acknowledges the traditional and ancestral territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy, including the Kainai, Piikani, and Siksika, as well as the Tsuut'ina Nation and Stoney Nakoda First Nation. We acknowledge that this territory is home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3, within the historical Treaty 7 nations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us, who have lived in and cared for these lands for generations and continue to call Calgary home.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for taking the time to join us today. We truly appreciate your continued support, engagement, and commitment to our organization. Before moving into the formal agenda, I'd like to cover a few quick housekeeping items to help ensure our meeting runs smoothly. This meeting is being recorded for documentation purposes. If you experience any technical difficulties, please try rejoining the session or reach out via private chat if possible. All participants are currently muted to minimize background noise. If you have questions during the presentation, please use the chat box function. We will try our best to address the questions. We recommend using headphones for optimal sound quality, as a video will be played during the session. Today, we will be reviewing key highlights from the past year, sharing financial updates, and discussing our priorities moving forward. To begin our evening, I invite you to turn your attention to a special video featuring the dedicated staff members who bring PCHS Calgary's mission to life each and every day. Through their compassion, expertise, and commitment, they make a meaningful difference in the lives of the individuals and families we serve. In this video, you'll hear directly from them as they share what they wish more people knew about PCHS, our work, and the impact of culturally responsive care in our community. Please enjoy.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Aruni Saldi. I'm a senior mental health therapist and registered provisional psychologist.
My name is Hafsa Yasin, and I'm a mental health therapist.
Hi, my name is Sarbjeet Sodi, and I'm working with PCHS as a community advocate coordinator.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sajjad, and I've been working with PCHS Calgary for almost 9 years. Presently, I'm working with the PCHS Calgary as a mental health therapist and lead addiction program.
I'm Qureshi, and I'm a community engagement and volunteer program coordinator at PCHS Calgary.
My name is Tanya. I'm the interim executive director at PCHS Calgary.
Hi, my name is Harmeet Sandhu. I'm a senior mental health therapist here at PCHS Calgary.
My name is Varinder, and I'm the community connection facilitator here at PCHS Calgary.
So my name is Noor, and I am a practicum student here at PCHS.
Hello, so I'm Salma, and I'm a practicum therapist here.
Hi, I'm Savi. I'm the Communications and Donor Relations Coordinator for PCHS Calgary.
Hi, my name is Belreen Sahoda, and I'm a mental health therapist here at PCHS.
My name is Harman, and I'm the clinical program manager at PCHS.
Hi, this is Tanvi Sharma. I'm working as an office admin.
The thing I love most about working here is connecting with and serving the South Asian community and being part of our team. It feels like a family.
One of the things I love about our agency is the sense of community that we have within our team. It enables us to support our clients the best.
So I wish people knew how much care we can provide at PCHS in terms of counseling support and referring to resources, and also that all of our services are confidential. So they don't need to worry about that we'll disclose any of their information.
Yeah, I think when people think mental health, they think that something has to be very wrong with me to access help. They don't think that getting help just to better themselves as an individual, just to grow in their ability to go about their day-to-day lives is necessary or important. But I think it's important for people to understand that mental health doesn't mean crisis. It means taking care of yourself like you do physically and emotionally.
aware to the people, like what we do, how to help them to be best. So thank you.
People should know about us that we provide services online and in person, as well as we are culturally and linguistically appropriate counseling organization for South Asians.
We're serving the South Asian community, and we completely follow the confidentiality policy. But sometimes it's a stigma in the community that might we share their information within the community. But I would say that we are completely professional. We follow all the confidentiality and privacy policies, and we respect their space and their safe.
One thing I wish people knew is that you don't need to come to counseling only when there is like an issue or there's a problem that's happening in your life. You can come here just to develop your skills. If you're having an issue at work or you're experiencing some sort of problem with your partner and you just don't know how to solve it, you just want to talk it through with someone, we're open for all that. So you don't need to come in only when there is like a very big life problem that's happening. It's really just a way to like better yourself and talk to someone and really get everything off your chest.
PCH is doing an amazing work out there in the community. They're advocating for mental health, emotional well-being, and when clients come to us, they get the support which they need, so it really helps them in their emotional well-being. So I guess that's one thing which PCHS is doing amazingly well, being out there for people in their most difficult and challenging times.
Something I wish more people knew about PCHS Calgary is the incredible skill, dedication, and compassion of our team. Our therapists provide a high standard of care, and our community team members bring deep experience, passion, and commitment to advocacy and outreach. Going above and beyond is not just an exception at our organization, it is the standard.
I wish that people knew the level of expertise that exists in this space and then also the caliber of work that happens here. It's truly phenomenal.
In people in general, or how they view counseling as, like from a Western standpoint, and how in like our culture, how they solve problems, they solve issues as a community as a whole or as family as a whole. So I would say that they can, like anyone, like families can also use PCHS as part of their community intervention as well for their families, so they can use our resources or our counseling sessions as one of those types of interventions to help their families and help anyone they care about.
So I wish more people knew that you could just pick up your own phone. You don't need a referral, you don't need anything, a diagnosis. There's no limitations really. As long as you need help, you can get in touch with us and we're there. And we really accommodate people based on their needs. So there's, in terms of language, in terms of as much as we can support them, as long as we can support them, we're there for them.
The people come with tears and they leave with a beautiful smile. That is my achievement. I would like to thank you, the current and the former board, executive director, clinical manager, and my supervisor and my other colleagues. Thank you.
A big thank you to all our staff for taking the time to share your reflections and insights with us. Your words remind us that the heart of PCHS is not just the programs we deliver, but the spirit that is reflected in everything we do and everything we have accomplished this past year. So this past year has been a foundational one for PCHS Calgary. Alongside delivering essential services, we have laid important groundwork for a strong organizational transition that positions us well for the future. In the last year, we provided over 5,000 direct service hours to our community. Behind every service hour is a person, a family, or a newcomer seeking support, connection, and safety. We also expanded outreach, we strengthened partnerships and improved service quality, enhanced accessibility for those who still face barriers to receive services. Despite province-wide funding cuts in the family violence prevention sector, we were able to sustain all core programming, demonstrating the resilience and the dedication of our team. This work is made possible by the people who stand behind it. So I want to take a moment to acknowledge our staff for your passion and commitment you bring to work every day. I also want to acknowledge our board of directors. Your leadership, time, and guidance have been critical in helping us navigate both challenges and growth. A very special thank you to our volunteers, our community partners, and our donors. You are our champions, and your impact goes further than you may realize, and we are deeply grateful. A key milestone this year has been the shift towards a governance-focused model, strengthening clarity, accountability, and long-term sustainability of PCHS Calgary. With this strong foundation, we are better equipped to deliver coordinated and impactful care. Together, we are not just building an organization, we are strengthening a community where culturally informed care is accessible, effective, and empowering for all. Thank you. Next, I would like to welcome the co-chairs of PCHS Calgary Board of Directors, Rekha Jabal and Kirsten Seagrave-Millang.
Thank you, Tanya. Good evening, everyone. I, Rekha Jabal, co-chair of the Board of Directors of PCHS Calgary, call to order the business segment of this meeting. The motions were voted on beforehand and were approved during a special meeting earlier this week. I, Rekha Jabal, move to accept the agenda as presented for the annual general meeting held on June 25th, 2026. The motion was seconded by Kirsten. I invite Kirsten to table the next motion.
Thank you, Rekha, and good evening, everyone. I, Kirsten Seagrave-Millang, co-chair of the Board of Directors of PCHS Calgary, move to adopt the meeting minutes from the last AGM held on June 19th, 2025. This motion was seconded by Harman Sidhu. I now invite Harman Sidhu to provide the financial report.
Good evening. I'm Harman Sidhu, Treasurer for PCHS Calgary and Chair of the Finance Committee. The financial audit for 2025 was completed by Calgary firm M&P LLP without any concerns. I want to thank Bara Dana, PCHS accountant, for facilitating a seamless audit. It's a testament to how well they have managed our records. PCHS Calgary receives its operating and program revenues from the Government of Canada, Government of Alberta, City of Calgary, local foundations, and community donations. During 2025, 96.3% of the revenues were directed towards service delivery and programs, and only 3.7% were towards administration. PCHS's goal is to remain under 10% for administrative costs. Our audited financial statements are available to the public. Feel free to contact us if you require any further information. I had moved to continue to appoint M&P LLP Calgary as our auditors for this year, 2026. This motion was seconded by Kirsten Seagrave-Millang. I had also moved to accept the 2025 financial statements prepared by M&P LLP Calgary. This motion was seconded by Kirsten Seagrave-Millang. I invite Kirsten to table the next motion.
Thank you, Harman. I, Kirsten Seagrave-Millang, move to nominate the following as directors of PCHS Calgary Board for 1 year, commencing July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. The continuing members are as follows. Rekha Jabal, in her first year of her 5th term in the role of co-chair. Myself, Kirsten Seagrave-Millang, in my first year of my 3rd term in my role as co-chair. Harmeet Batu, in her 2nd year of her 3rd term. Harman Sidhu, in his 2nd year of his 2nd term in his role as treasurer. And Amitoj Bogle, in his 1st year of his 2nd term. We wish to welcome new board member Arun Sahota in his 1st year of his 1st term in his role as a board member. The motion was seconded by Rekha. This now constitutes the closure of the business segment of the meeting. Thank you to our funders and partners. I now have the pleasure to introduce our guest speaker this evening, Michelle Stanners. Michelle is recognized for her leadership and strong strategic skills. She offers over 30 years of experience holding various roles in nonprofit, government, membership driven, and for profit organizations. Michelle demonstrates a natural affinity for helping organizations improve their governance, build internal capacity, effectively engage stakeholders, and ensure financial stability. Michelle's superpowers include embracing and leveraging the power of the community to respond to complex cultural challenges and ensure broad-based commitment and inclusive decision-making. She has extensive experience in business development, communications, turnarounds, and public speaking. She is culturally and linguistically bilingual in English and in French and possesses working knowledge of Spanish. Michelle is a graduate of Harvard University, a passionate pianist, and she provides strategic advice to leaders throughout Canada. Please welcome Michelle.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone can hear me. Yes? Good. So, good evening, everyone. And I want to tell you what a privilege it is to be here with you tonight. I was engaged by PCHS to help the organization transition from an operational board to a governance board. Not easy. And never as a consultant have I been asked to deliver a keynote address at an AGM. This is a great honor. Over the past year, I had the opportunity to work alongside the board and the leadership team of PCHS as you undertook an important governance transition. This has been one of the most rewarding engagements of my career. When I spoke with Kirsten in preparation for tonight, she encouraged me to make my remarks personal. So I would like to begin there. For over 30 years, I have been in recovery from alcoholism. Getting help is what changed my life. Like many people struggling with addiction, I once believed that asking for help was a sign of weakness. What I learned was exactly the opposite. It is a sign of strength and courage. Recovery taught me something that has stayed with me throughout my life and my career. People heal in community. No one recovers alone. No one overcomes life's greatest challenges alone. And communities thrive when there are organizations willing to stand beside people in their most vulnerable moments. And that is why organizations like PCHS matter so deeply. Every day, this organization supports individuals and families facing challenges related to mental health, addiction, settlement, isolation, family well-being, and simply belonging. Your annual report speaks to the impact in numbers, but often the impact is in stories. We do not always associate the family that stayed together, the newcomer who found connection, or the individual who discovered hope with the work offered by PCHS and the amazing staff we just heard from. When one person changes, everyone around them changes. Lives are changed because of PCHS. One of my favorite moments during our work together happened at the board retreat. I had asked everyone to bring an object that represented the value PCHS brings to the community and to introduce themselves by explaining that object. We heard about family photographs, children's artwork, keepsakes, a globe, and symbols of culture, community, and belonging. As each person shared the story behind their object, participants saw each other as more than board members. They saw parents, caregivers, community builders, and people whose own lives had been touched by the work of organizations like PCHS. The stories reminded us why people choose to serve on this board. I'll tell you, most people don't because they love governance or fundraising. They join because they care about families, community, and giving everyone the same opportunity. And what also impressed me was the compassion around the board table. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. And over the year, I also witnessed the courage to change. In my journey of recovery, I've seen two kinds of people: those who resist and those who surrender. It's the same with organizations. PCHS had reached the point where the systems that help them grow are not the systems that will sustain them in the future. It takes courage to recognize that, step back from operations, trust others, and embrace a governance model focused on vision, stewardship, and long-term impact. I've also been impressed by the respect shown for the founders and the history that brought the organization to where it is today, and the support shown for your interim executive director as she has grown into her role. The board has demonstrated increasing confidence in allowing management to manage while the board focuses on governance. One of my favorite sayings is, progress happens at the speed of trust. The stronger the trust within an organization and community, the greater its impact. Good governance is not only about policies, committees, board meetings. It's about creating the conditions for success and ensuring the mission can continue long after any one leader or volunteer has moved on. The work you're doing today is helping ensure that PCHS will continue to serve individuals, families, and the community for years to come. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. Thank you for your leadership. And most importantly, thank you for the difference you make in the lives of others every single day.
Thank you, Michelle, for that very heartfelt, thoughtful, and remarkable speech that you just gave. That was fantastic and amazing, and for sharing such a personal story about yourself. It was our utmost pleasure to be able to have worked with you. Thank you. I will now give our chair's report. Rika will also be joining me. In a year that was shaped by continued change, we were guided by a clear conviction. Strong governance is not only a framework for accountability, but a source of leadership that enables an organization to adapt with purpose, steward its resources wisely, and remain firmly anchored in its mission to empower Calgary South Asian communities through culturally informed services, programs, and education. PCHS Calgary's integrated holistic service delivery model remains central to our mission. Governance plays a critical role in sustaining this approach by ensuring that our strategy, oversight, and decision-making remain aligned with the needs of the community that we serve. We envision a future in which PCHS Calgary is a trusted household name and stigma surrounding mental health and addiction has been reduced across the South Asian community. That vision continues to shape our governance decisions, strategic priorities, and shared responsibility as board leaders to help build an organization that can meet change with clarity, compassion, and confidence. We extend our sincere gratitude to our board committee volunteers, Arvind Pander, Jasbir Jabal, Ira Jareth, Harman Gill, Simran Jabal, Jasdeep, Nijar, Marley Chima, and Melissa Noveus. Your time, compassion, and dedication reflect the spirit of community and compassion PCHS Calgary strives to foster. We also thank our outgoing board members, Akash Bir and Prab Griwal, for their leadership, dedication, service, and meaningful contributions. We are also pleased to recognize the Board of Directors for 2026 and 2027, or into 2027. As stated earlier, that is Harman Sidhu, Amitoj Bogle, Harmeet Batu, Raika Jabal, and myself, serving as co-chairs of the board together with Arun Sahota as a board member. Thank you for your commitment, leadership, and thoughtful governance as PCHS Calgary continues to grow and adapt in service of the community. PCHS Calgary's work is supported by our 10-year strategic plan that provides a disciplined, long-term view of how we strengthen the organization, deepen our impact, and govern for the future. We continue to be guided by our 4 strategic pillars, which are community engagement, service quality, collaboration, and sustainability. We achieved the following goals in 2025-2026, which Raika will now present.
Thank you, Kirsten. I'm just going to take a moment to walk all of you through how these pillars came to life in our work over the past year. Community engagement. We strengthened community connections and broadened our presence through targeted outreach and building new partnerships with faith groups, schools, and local medical clinics. Service quality. We strengthened data management and operational processes to support consistent, high-quality service delivery and reinforce organizational accountability. Updates to our clinical program manual reflected staff and client feedback and evolving operational needs. We also refined our domestic violence group model. We streamlined onboarding and offboarding processes, and we hired additional staff to support our growing operational demands. Collaboration. Strong branding and clear organizational identity are integral to building trust and connection with the community. This year, we redeveloped our website to create a welcoming and authentic online presence where current and prospective clients can feel comfortable reaching out for support. We continued our transition toward a governing board by participating in governance training and developing a governance transition plan that we are currently implementing. And finally, sustainability. We laid the groundwork for more diversified revenue streams to strengthen long-term sustainability and deepen outreach to new partners and funders. These efforts reflect an important governance responsibility, ensuring the organization is not only responsive to today's needs, but is prepared to thrive in the years ahead. Community fundraising generated nearly 11% of our annual operating budget, making this a strong fundraising year for us. Our annual gala and fireside chat with Baldev Mutta were highly successful, and our second annual golf tournament exceeded its goal. We are deeply grateful to every donor, business, and community supporter whose generosity is helping to sustain this work and the future of PCHS Calgary. We look to the year ahead with optimism, humility, and resolve. The work of governance is ultimately work of stewardship, holding the mission in trust, preparing the organization for what lies ahead, and creating the conditions for meaningful, sustainable impact. Through strong governance and continued commitment to service, we will keep building a future in which South Asian individuals and families feel seen, supported, and empowered to thrive. Thank you. As we now move into the final part of our program, it is my pleasure to introduce a very special spoken word presentation. We are honored to hear from our mental health therapist and addiction program lead, Sajjad Mirza, who will be sharing a poem with us today. Please join me in welcoming Sajjad.
Thank you, Rekab. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to extend my very sincere gratitude to those who really likes my poem recitation, which was recited in a PCHS gala. So I'm going to recite the same poetry, and hopefully you like it. अगर कभी मेरी याद आए तो चांद रातों की नर्म दिलगीर रोशनी में किसी सितारे को देख लेना। अगर कभी मेरी याद आए तो चांद रातों की नर्म दिलगीर रोशनी में किसी सितारे को देख लेना। अगर वो नखले फलक से उड़कर तुम्हारे कदमों में आ गिरे तो जान लेना कि वो इस्तारा था मेरे दिल का। अगर ना आए, मगर ये मुमकिन ही किस तरह है कि तुम किसी पे निगाह डालो और उसकी दीवारें जाना टूटे, वो अपनी हस्ती ना भूल जाए। अगर कभी मेरी याद आए, अगर कभी मेरी याद आए, गुरेज करती हवा की लहरों पे हाथ रखना। मैं खुशबुओं में तुम्हें मिलूंगा, मुझे गुलाबों की पत्तियों में तलाश करना। मैं औस कतरों के आईनों में तुम्हें मिलूंगा, सितारों में, औस कतरों में, खुशबुओं में न पाओ मुझको तो अपने कदमों में देख लेना। अगर कभी मेरी याद आए, अगर कभी मेरी याद आए तो चांद रातों की नर्म दिलगीर रोशनी में किसी सितारे को देख लेना। खुशबुओं में, सितारों में अगर मुझको ना पाओ, गुलाब की पत्तियों में तलाश करना। मैं औस कतरों के आईनों में तुम्हें मिलूंगा, सितारों में, औस कतरों में, खुशबुओं में ना पाओ मुझको तो अपने कदमों में देख लेना। मैं गर्द होती मसाफतों में तुम्हें मिलूंगा, कहीं पे रोशन चराग देखो तो जान लेना कि हर पतंगे के साथ मैं भी सुलग चुका हूं। तुम अपने हाथों से उन पतंगों की खाक दरिया में डाल देना। मैं खाक बनकर समंदरों में सफर करूंगा, किसी न देखे हुए जजीरे पे रुक के तुमको सदाएं दूंगा। समंदरों के सफर पे निकलो तो उस जजीरे पे भी उतरना। अगर कभी मेरी याद आए तो चांद रातों की नर्म दिलगीर रोशनी में किसी सितारे को देख लेना, किसी सितारे को देख लेना। थैंक यू।
Wow. Thank you, Sajad. That was a truly beautiful and moving poem. Thank you for sharing your talent and your voice with us this evening.
You're very welcome.
I want to thank each of you for spending your evening with us. Your continued support, partnership, and commitment to PCHS Calgary are what make our work possible, and we are sincerely grateful. On the behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire PCHS team, thank you for being part of our journey. We look forward to another year of learning, growing, and serving our community together. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you once again. Rekha?
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. I want to also acknowledge a special individual who has been part of PCHS for many, many years, Kieran Dhaliwal, who remains one of our staunchest supporters and someone that honestly, I don't know how we would survive our emergency calls too. So thank you, Karen, for all the work that you have done and continue to do for PCHS Calgary. We really appreciate the support that you give to not only the board, but also all of the staff. Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for your support today, tomorrow, and always. PCHS Calgary could not survive without the support of all of the individuals that we rely on and that give back to the community. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah, I don't see any questions in the chat either, so just to confirm that as well.